So the ad accounts are talking, and before we even analyze the creatives part and how you can evaluate if the creatives are good or bad, I think that one important step before that is to understand if we are having problems into our funnel. Is our AOV good? Are we having good CPMs? Is our conversion rate is good? If we see all of these kind of things, then we can understand if we have other problems, and then we can focus on the creatives if we see that these things are not the most important things. But for example, if we're having 100 checkouts and we're having just one purchase, then we know that we have a problem in our conversion rate, because everything that is happening within the platform, like the cost per click, the CTR, the CPM, it's things that we can try to improve within the platform, like having better creatives, better targeting for the CPM and all of that. But if people leave and they go to a website that they're actually not converting, this is something that we cannot fix with ads. There are a lot of owners that they say, send me better quality traffic. Bullshit. It's not going to work, because everything that we do and the traffic that we send is just amplifying the truth, okay? We're just growing something, and we're just making more traffic to something that it's already working or not working. That's why, for example, freelancers like me, they like to work with projects that they already have a social proof, not necessarily the social proof that some people say that, for example, this item is selling on Etsy. Most of the times, if something is selling on Etsy, it means that it doesn't have friendly numbers for Facebook ads. Why? Because on Etsy, they end up the people that they don't have good AOV, they don't have products that they are very expensive in order for them, or profit margins or whatever, in order for them to make sense to advertise on Facebook, because advertising on Meta, it's expensive. So when I see people saying that this product is selling on Amazon and stuff, it doesn't mean that it's going to be able to sell on Facebook, because you have also the marketing cost over there, and maybe it's not going to be, making the profits that you need to see in order for this to be sustainable. Let's go into my PC. Let me show you some cases that I will find now and see if we're having problems in another account about conversion rate or something else. And we're going to take it from there, understanding more if we have problems that we have to solve in the business, comparing to problems that we're able to solve within the Ads Manager. Because in the Ads Manager, we can solve some things, but if something is already wrong and is not converting on its own, this is not something that's going to be fixed just because we change the targeting on our Facebook ads. So the things that we're going to discuss here, they are not actually the truth in some cases, because there are some other things, like for example, somebody selling something for a small price and then having a very high ticket offer after that, and this is why it's working, being a subscription model and all of that. There are many other things. For example, if you are a subscription model, in order for you to know how much your cost per purchase needs to be, you need to see how much is the retention rate of 50% of your clients. So if 50% of your clients are staying for 7 months, and then you are seeing that the monthly subscription thing is $100, then you can spend up to $700 in order to get a client, because you know the numbers. This is the problem also with subscription model businesses, because you don't know these numbers and you have to just run ads in order for you to actually discover them. Another thing is that some people can be more aggressive with this number, and they can go up to 70%, because if the 50% stays that long, then the other percentage stays more, so you make money. This is the whole logic. Some people go up to 70% if they want to grow more and stuff. There are other businesses that they have funnels that they sell something very cheap initially and then they sell something more expensive. So it's up to you to have these numbers that are going to make sense. But over here, for example, I'm going to take you into this account, explaining what is happening here. Here, we're seeing another account which is having normal CPMs. We don't see anything crazy over here. Also, the other account, okay? I know this other account is running for a long period of time. We're running advanced shopping campaigns. It's working. The cost per purchase is high, okay? And we're seeing on the creative side that this is acceptable, okay? It's not very bad, but it's not very good, but it's acceptable, okay? It's not something that, of course, the creative is something that you can always improve, but we will analyze this in the next chapter. Here we're talking about more difficult problems. We're seeing that the checkout ratio is 63/85, so for sure we have a problem with checkout purchase ratio, but this is how this business works. You don't have these numbers. The only thing that you can blame here is the AOV. Because if you are getting that high cost per purchases, in order for you to go to 2 ROAS, for example, over here, the only way that you're going to do it is if somehow people are going to buy more inside the website. And this is something that you can see in this ad account, for example, and you can try to work towards that. If you improve the creatives, I mean, given the fact that the CPM is already on 24, 28, I don't think that this is going to improve a lot to go to 2 ROAS. So I would focus more in numbers like AOV in this business if I didn't knew the reality about it. Let's go to another one. So let's not kid ourselves. The usual suspects most of the time is the AOV or the conversion rate, for example, okay? Here we have again a problem with AOV, okay? Let me show you. We're having 17. We're getting a cost per purchase of 87. Yes, the cost per purchase can improve, I know. Here we're getting cost per click of 1.57, 1.68 on this CPM. I don't consider it bad. As I said, we can always improve on the creatives. There's no question about that. The only thing that can save you here is to actually have a better AOV so that you can be able to be, for example, on 2 ROAS plus if this is what you want from this ad account, or for example, improve your profit margin. So instead of having a 30% profit margin, you can have an 80% profit margin so that your break-even ROAS is going to drop. Okay, we have analyzed how to calculate your profit-even margin and all of these numbers at the first module from the basics, and over there you can see, for example, that a lot of times there are businesses that they haven't adapted to the situation, they haven't changed their numbers for a very long period of time. New competition came, they started copying them, we have more competition, they haven't adapted to that, they have still the same producers, the same distributors and all of that. They don't have good numbers, healthy numbers, and eventually they end up having problems because the competition is having more healthy numbers, so they can scale more. They're bullying them into their auctions and all of that. So let's go in another account that's having a problem in the conversion. So you go in another account like this, okay, and you see 46 sales, 540 checkouts. Is there any doubt over here that even if you have the most amazing creatives, let's see what kind of creatives we have. You see the cost per unique click here is 1.3, 0.7, this is a new campaign. 0.42, 1, normal click-through rate for them. For that we have CPMs which are very low, you know. What are you trying to improve over here? Okay, the thing that it's actually making the company bleeding here, not having the results that they want, even while they're a digital product and they can have 1 or 1.1 ROAS break even, is the checkout. So this is something that somebody has to go there, a CRO specialist, and fix actually the numbers over there so that they can be better. Because even if you cut this in half, that's crazy, okay? But having 540, let me tell you what's the ratio. So 540 divided with 46, that means that we have 11. So every 11 checkouts, we have a purchase. While there are other stores like this, over here, where the checkout purchase ratio, it is every 1,600, it's not even 1 to 2. Every 2,000, 1,250 sales. Okay, so it's not even 1 to 2. And in the other one, we need 11 checkouts, 11.7, so close to 12, in order to get a sale. Let me show you another account like this, and then we can close the video. And here, for example, the results are even worse. We have 125 checkouts and 5 purchases. I need to point out that both of these other accounts are on the financial space, and that's the reason that we're seeing that, because in the financial space, I have never seen something converting as well as an apparel e-commerce store, for example, that has 1 to 2 ratio, for example, okay? So here we're seeing this a lot in the financial space, but for sure it's something that I cannot accept it, you know. I think that they have to have better landing pages, better conversion rate and all of that, because this is hurting all the numbers. Even on stores like this one, this is a store that has a high AOV, okay? Even in this store over here, we can see that the ratio between is not even the double, okay? So the bigger price is not always something that you can use in order to say that you will have bad CPM or that you're going to have bad conversion rate and all of that, okay? So the bigger AOV orders and stuff, they can actually have friendly numbers and good conversion rates. And of course, nowadays, that's why more and more people are coming into e-commerce and they are actually trying to have better profit margins, bigger AOV and all of that. But you need to focus also on your conversion rate on the website. And no, having because a lot of times people say that in order for me to have good conversion rate, I need to sell something for 20, 30, the comfort zone price items. No, I can tell you that there are good conversion rates also with high ticket offers. And I hope that my course is also going to have a very good conversion rate in the way that I'm going to make it. But if I had these numbers that I showed you earlier, for sure I would hire someone. I would try to see heat maps and all of these kind of things in order to improve it. Because at the end of the day, the traffic is coming from Meta in a healthy way, but it's not converting there, so it has to be fixed there, okay? I hope that you get my point about the other numbers that you need to check. And now we're going to go to the next chapter to go to the thing that we can influence much more, especially as a freelancer. I can influence much more by asking other creators and stuff, and it can change the tide, but for sure it cannot change the numbers of the, of the conversion rate and all of that, but for sure it can improve stuff. In other words, you need to be good in everything, okay? And you need to work in improving all of these numbers, or the competition is going to do it and you're going to be left behind. Again, numbers. If the numbers make sense and if we don't see issues, then we can go to the next chapter, which is actually creatives, and start understanding if we have a problem on the creatives. But if we have other problems like don't have friendly numbers for advertising on Facebook and all of that, this is something that we need to address and we need to fix, either if we are the owner or if we are a freelancer, that we have to actually guide the owner to find a solution to something.